everybody, I'm Amanda from the Holistic Equestrian. Just doing a series of videos on using crystals with your horses. So there's an age-old saying around, maybe it's not an age-old saying, but maybe it's just one of my little things. But basically crystals, they're not just pretty to look at, they do actually have a purpose. They hold a very unique way of assisting us as part of our healing journey, and we're able to incorporate those benefits with our animals as well, and of course that includes our horses. Anything that I kind of talk about in these sessions is also relevant to us as humans and to our dogs and to any other animals that you have in your life or that you come into contact with that may benefit from some crystal healing, for example. And I've just popped a photo on in the group, and I was getting some crystals ready for today's video, and I've got a little baby rabbit. He's about 8 months old now, and I just wanted to see what his reaction would be if I used them. And he actually let me place a clear quartz and a smoky quartz on his body, and sat there and let me take a photo and just have a play around with some crystals and do some gridding with him. And he actually really enjoyed it. I was quite surprised. I thought as soon as he felt the unusual weight of the crystals that he'd be off like a rocket, but he wasn't. He stayed around. So you definitely can use them with all animals and let them be your guide as to how much and what you use and where you use them and all those kind of things. So today's talk is mainly about the different ways that you can include crystals into your daily routine, your regular routine, part of a healing journey, for very specific issues, for ongoing situations. There's many ways that you can incorporate them. One of the things that I hear quite a lot from people when I mention that I use crystals with horses is I've got lots of crystals in my home. I love using crystals, but I've never thought about using them for my horses. And it's kind of like a slap in the face that yes, of course you can use them. You can use them however you want to, really, and be guided by your intuition. And this video is really just a few suggestions of the ways that you can actually start using them today. These are really simple, easy ways. So one of the things is, one of the good things to do, especially with larger crystals. So here's one of my big rose quartz pieces. Something this size is quite handy to be placed somewhere. Obviously make sure that your horses can't eat them. I don't necessarily think they would, but let's not risk it, and let's not attempt to see if they will actually eat them. It's not worth the risk, and we don't want any broken teeth either. So something like this can be placed quite inconspicuously, somewhere just out of reach of your horses, but where they're going to feel their benefit. And I know last week we spoke in the video about intentions. So always when you're using crystals, set your intentions first. Make sure you spend that time with them to set the intention of exactly what you want, the purpose of those crystals, and how you want them to help your horses. So something else that you can do with smaller crystals, so here we've got clear quartz and some smoky quartz points. These are a really good size to bury into the ground in places that your horse spends quite a lot of time, especially on their own, if you're targeting specific issues for your horse. I last year buried some specific crystals for Lucy in an area that she's fed on a daily basis, so that she would benefit from the properties of the crystals that she chose, and that they were for her and her alone. If you're using them for to support a herd, maybe somewhere where they if they've got a favourite tree, if they like to spend some time under a tree at their at nap time, that's a really good one. And again, just make sure that they're dug deep enough that one, you can find them at the end of it. I know that I had to go on a bit of a hunt for Lucy's ones, because they were down for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and so by the time I went back to get them, it was kind of a guessing game exactly where they were. But yes, so make sure you know exactly where they are so that you can get them, and also that they are deep enough that the horse isn't just going to kind of take the top layer off with their hoof and find them and eat them. Again, we don't want that. So again, things like the quartz and things, they're very good for and points, they're very good for placing on the horse. These would be about the right size that they can go along the spine, and again, something this kind of shape will sit quite nicely on some horses, obviously not all of them, especially the further up you get to the withers, depending on what that shape. I've got a Welsh cob, so things like this sit quite nicely on her. But if you do have difficulty placing the crystals and them staying on, if your horse moves around a lot, you know, if they fall off, if they just don't fit nicely on the body, or if your horse is showing signs that actually that physical contact is too much, you can just hold the crystal close to the body. And again, be guided by where your horse's electromagnetic field is saying that's too much, or yes, that's okay, I like it, just going very, very gently, and just hold it in the areas that you either are guided intuitively to hold the crystals near, or in a specific area if your horse has got an injury, or there's a certain place that you want to be offering more support to in those areas of the body. So some of the other things that you can do as well is use a pendulum. I really, really, really love to use my pendulum when doing all of my energetic work. I'm very tuned in with my pendulums, and they are something in my toolkit that I really do respect and honour, and really do like to use quite a lot. The same as crystal grids. I have a couple of things that I use as boards to grid on, and I can do that work distantly, remotely, and set up grids for certain things: protection, grounding, injuries, emotional stuff. But again, I think those two things really do need more in-depth sessions, so I want to kind of dive into those a little bit more later on down the track. And of course, one of the really, really easy and simple ways to include crystals into your horse's everyday life is to order them a custom-made set of Holistic beads. So this is a little bit of a plug here for me to just kind of just showcase the things that I can make. So things to hang or to be tied into the mane or tail if the Holistic beads aren't something that you feel that your horse would want. I know that some people are quite worried that their horse may try and eat them. The way that they're placed on the horse's neck, and if they're measured to fit correctly, the horse actually shouldn't be able to grab them and pull them. But I know that some people do have those concerns, so you can have something in the mane, something in the tail. I can make a key ring that can be attached to a head collar or a bridle or to the saddle. I can make you matching bracelets. I can make you just a bracelet just for yourself that you just wear when you're with your horses, if it's something to do with connection, those kind of things. So yeah, if you do want to kind of get the ball rolling for your own unique set, and you would like an energetic reading to see which crystals your horse personally would like, you know where I am. Just send me a message and we can get the ball rolling. In the meantime, I'd really like to hear from you. What kind of things do you do with your horses when you use the crystals? Do you do any of the things that I've kind of spoken about today, or do you do something different? There's no right or wrong. I would just love to hear your own stories. And yeah, just comment below or send me a message. I'd really like to hear back from you. And yeah, so I think that's really it. It's just a kind of a very brief overview of just some of the ways, really simple ways, that today, if you've got some crystals laying around your house, that you can grab hold of them on your way out to the horses and start using them. But remember, intention is key. Program the crystals, do what you're going to do with them. Let me know how you get on. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you all have a happy day and take care. Bye bye.